Well, for more on the fallout from the Kenyan election, we are joined by our African expert and friend, Nii Akuetteh. Thank you for joining us. Great to see you.
It's a pleasure to see you.
The big question everyone wants to know, Nii, is can the President, Uhuru Kenyatta, be declared the winner of a vote in which the ballots were not cast in all of Kenya's 291 constituencies?
I think technically, if I might stick my neck out, they will declare him, the Electoral Commission will declare him the winner, because as you mentioned, four of what runs for the governor areas, that is the counties, there are four in which the elections have not been held, but they've been held in the other 43 counties. And so technically you can say, well, it wasn't held in a few areas. And I'm sure the Electoral Commission will say, this is our result. What they have said is they are not going to show the interim result. They will wait till the final results roll in. So I think they will declare him. The big question is, will it be acceptable across Kenya? It will not, because even this, in the areas where the elections were held, participation dropped. In August, when they did it, there was 80% voter participation. This time, what we hear is it's about 35%. So it's a very dangerous area, and I might add that, you know, it's not just important for Kenya, it's important for the whole continent of Africa. So I'm looking at it that way, and to tell you the truth, I am worried.
Okay, so let's talk about how crucial those four counties are to the vote, where residents have blocked the road and the clashes have begun. Is this significant?
It is significant, because this is sort of the home area where there is intense support for the opposition, NASA, which has rechristened themselves into a national resistance movement. This is their area. They are suspicious. The argument that they made, you know, they actually withdrew from the elections. So even though Mr. Odinga's name was on the ballot, he said he was withdrawing, advising his voters not to vote, because their argument is, when it was held in August, the Supreme Court annulled it because he said there were irregularities. Those irregularities have not been fixed. So if you run the system again with the same flaws, there is no confidence in what you will get.
Does he need a mandate to stem a lot of this violence?
I think what they need more than anything else is negotiation. And if it cannot be done by Kenyans themselves, I think the African Union and the international community must offer their help and must cajole them to come together, because it seems to me the two parties, which are actually coalitions, so the country is split into these two coalitions, they are loggerheads, and they need a good mediator. And I think the African Union, you know, former President Thabo Mbeki was there to to observe the elections. I think that they should add former President Obasanjo of Nigeria. The African Union should call them in and persuade the Kenyans to come together and sit down and buy time and make sure that they can have clear, clean elections.
So there will be a reform, you feel like, of the election process. But the question is whether they can bring both sides to the table. It's kind of similar to what's going on in Iraq. They need the Sunnis and the Shias involved.
Yeah, well, the divisions in Kenya, I hope, are not as deep-seated and as based in sectarianism as in the Middle East. But it is divided enough. Will there be reform? What I'm saying is, I hope there will be. I have no reason to say it will be done. I think the African Union, my hope is that they are talking to them quietly behind the scenes. Kenya is a very sophisticated, highly educated, important country in East Africa. And you hope that the leaders will put their personal differences aside and realize that what they are involved in is to save the future of the country and the entire region, actually.
Well, Nii Akuetteh, always great to see you.
Thank you for
your
having
time.
me.